biddies are in here.
All the biddies.
All the biddies of the shorties.
This is Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open. Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.
And welcome back, everybody. This is the Florida Vibe Directory. On today's podcast, we got Izzy B in the building.
Yo, 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 yo.
What's up? What's up? So, how you feeling for this podcast? Tell me, what's good?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I do a lot of playing music. I don't really do a lot of talking unless it's like, everybody get up and start, like on the mic. So this is, it's different.
Okay, sweet. No, I feel that. So you mentioned you're a DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about that. How's that been treating you?
It's been a wild ride for the last 4.5 years.
Okay.
In terms of like how I got started, you mean?
Yeah. Tell me. Oh, 1 second. Let me just
adjust it. Yeah, I'm like over here, hunchback.
There you go.
Perfect. So pretty much, it's I always say kind of like God wanted me to be a DJ or something, because the way it happened was funny. It landed in my lap. So my older sister, she's actually a really big DJ in Miami. And when she was first starting out, I was still in high school. And she kind of started working at this studio. And there they did like a program called Girls Make Beats. So I was like, oh, I need an internship. So I started working there. And to make a long story short, in exchange for like my volunteering and stuff and my internship hours, they kind of taught me like the technical end of DJing. Like, so that's what it was for. It was like teaching little girls how to produce and how to DJ.
Wow.
So I got to like sit down in classes fully just for free, learn how to DJ. And then the next thing you know, I'm like my sister's like right-hand woman, like with like carrying her stuff to her gigs. If she needs to go to the bathroom, I'm mixing. Like that's how it kind of started out. And then I was like, okay, I like this. Bought my own board with my little minimum wage job. And then whatever, I went to college. It was like my senior year when all that happened. Went to college, locked myself in a room for 6 months. I was like, I'm not leaving this room until I can confidently say I can like transition smoothly. And then boom, then I just went on a journey of like trying all different genres, submerging myself in different like musical cultures and worlds. And now I'm a open format DJ.
Okay.
That took a long time to figure out.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So it sounds like it's been quite an experience.
Yeah. It wasn't something I thought when I first saw my sister doing it, I was like, I could never. Like, this looks like rocket science. And then like over time, like practice, and it's not that bad.
That's awesome. Good to hear. You want to give a shout out to your sister? I don't know. If she has
yeah,
a
at
handle.
PXWeezy on Instagram.
Go check her.
My music sensei. She taught me everything.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Very badass. So it runs in the family.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
My dad was a dancer too. Like we definitely have like music in our family.
Very cool.
He used to dance disco music, like hustle and salsa and all. Yeah. He's insane.
Nice. And are you Hispanic?
Yeah, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Colombian.
Nice.
My dad's a Puerto Rican.
Do you feel like that has like contributed in any way to like your love for music?
Yeah, it's so funny. When I first started, I felt like when I was in Tallahassee, I was a girl DJ, so it was like, and I wasn't in a frat or sorority. So just in that world, it was like harder to be like, hey, I'll be like, I'm a DJ, and they're like, oh, that's cute, So it was funny, like I'm like this Latina girl, so it was really quick to kind of want to try to throw me in like these Latino parties. And I did them to just get like a name out there, but I was like, I don't want to get stuck in this, because I don't want to be just like, I want to be able to play the club, like be doing that regularly. So at first I tried to fight it, but then by the end, my senior year, I was already established and stuff in college and FSU, shout out, go Knowles. I started doing the Latin parties and like kind of that ended up being a superpower. Like the thing I tried to push away ended up being like a thing that differentiated me, because it wasn't something that was done. But I loved it. It was like, I'm like, why am I running away from my roots? Like, this is where I came from. Like, I'm from Miami. Like, why?
But you probably felt that pressure to be like everyone else or like every other DJ. Probably.
I just wanted to try different things. Like, I just didn't want to get put in a box right away. I was like, I want to try as many different, I want to learn. I want to be a sponge. Like, that was like really what I was trying to do.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you were able to pick up DJing easily? Like, I know you mentioned it was a little bit of a struggle. You got to lock yourself in your room. You're like, until I transition, I'm not getting out
like
of here.
I learned the basics in a classroom. I feel like, okay, so we learned both like Ableton, we learned that, and like I don't know, I don't produce. Just want to put that out there. And we were learning Serato, and I picked up I feel like anybody, if you sit with the two things for 3 months, I feel like majority of people would pick DJing. It's just an easier thing to pick up.
Right.
Because that production's a whole other animal. But DJing, yeah, no, I think it just was helpful that I was like in a classroom. This is what this button does, and like it was like DJing for dummies, you know. Like a 9-year-old is learning, I'm learning too. You know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. And then when I was going out with my sister, it's like I learned how to apply that. It was like the next layer to it. Like, how do you talk in the mic? How do you read a room? Like the other things that you don't learn from the tech, like. Just took it to another level, essentially.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely like another level of awareness for DJs. When you can see that they're reading the room correctly, right? That's like DJ awareness right there. Like
I think
you can see it.
I think that's very interesting because I feel like the reason why people pick up a board, it's really different for everybody. Like I feel like particularly in the EDM world. Mm-hmm. I'm an open format DJ, so you can see me in one set. I'm going from genre to genre to genre to genre. And that requires, let me read this room right now, because let's be honest, in Miami, in a Miami nightlife, in any kind of nightlife, the bar has to make money. You want to keep the people there as long as you can. So reading the room, that comes into play. But I feel like more in an EDM or like a house music, in those kind of worlds, what I've learned through like throwing myself in there, it's all about self-expression. It's all about more, you're giving the crowd something and they're receiving it versus like you're receiving the vibes from the crowd and trying to give it, like, you know, it's a different kind of exchange.
I see.
But I do think, in general, I think it is important to generally know how to read a room. Like, I'm playing this song and it's totally tanking. Like, no one's dancing. Okay, let's move on. You know? But I found that difference in those two kind of worlds, which is pretty cool.
And how, tell me about your first gig, you know?
My first gig ever.
Yeah.
Okay, technically, my first gig was at, like, a friend's house party in high school.
Okay.
And I brought these little rocket speakers. I had no idea the concept of sound. I was like, oh, this little speaker will be fine. No, not like we're in a backyard. Like the sound is getting absorbed. But whatever. I like found a replacement. It was cool. Last minute did this party. It was just, I feel like I didn't necessarily kill it. It's your first DJ set ever. But like looking back, I'm like, oh no. Like I don't have the library and the catalog that I do now. Mm-hmm. But that was just more so to like get the jitters out. Like for the first like couple months, every time I got behind a board, it was really scary. Like it was just like the nerves, your heart's pumping. I would have a mini panic attack. Like, but then by the 100th time, just like anything else, you just kind of get your groove going and it feels natural. Love that. You know? Yeah. And then it got to a point where it was like I got used to people. Like I told you, the whole girl thing, and I feel like there's a lot more girl DJs now, but like 4 years ago it was not as popular. Right. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled up to a gig and it's like you get these looks from people like, oh, what is this little girl gonna do? And then by the end of it, they're dapping me up, you know, like, oh, you killed it.
Showing
like,
you respect.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's just the doubt. But like, I had that when I first started, like that would have made me crumble. But like after doing it for so long, it's like, bring it. Oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong, you know? I see. It's cool. Like,
yeah. So tell me a little bit more about being a girl DJ, right? Because you mentioned that it is a very male-dominated space. You know, do you ever feel like that's ever kind of been a barrier for you?
I think yes. I feel like at first it's kind of hard for people to take you seriously. I feel like a lot of girls get the whole she's just getting gigs because she's pretty, or she's just getting looks because she's a girl, or getting gigs because she's a girl. Like that whole thing, they kind of want to downplay your talent, which is kind of I can't lie. Like let's be real here. I think there is an advantage. Like. And I hate to bring up where we are. We're in Miami. I feel like anywhere, people love women. People love a good-looking woman.
It's true.
Unless, you know.
It's true, yeah.
And like, I feel like that kind of like you notice like the Instagram likes or like if a girl's good-looking like that. I think that definitely plays a part. But I don't ever want to discredit like a woman's talent or like her pursuit of that, you know. It's just like she looks good and she sounds good and like win-win and whatever. But yeah, I just think like the like I was saying earlier, like the fact that people doubt you or like want to discredit your talent, like that, I feel like that's the biggest struggle. Like,
Gotcha. Yeah, they'll just accredit it to you being pretty or
just being a girl or just simply being a girl and having it be different. I feel like now there's a lot more girl DJs. Like you can't.
There are.
You know, I feel like it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm really proud and happy for everybody. I feel like now it's less and less of like a stigma. So I think we're moving past that.
Okay.
Everyone we're getting used to the girl DJ thing. I think it's like not a hype thing anymore.
Gotcha. No, it's good to hear.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see it myself.
So many more girls.
Way more. And some that have reached like legendary status with DJing, you know?
Yeah. Like Alice in Wonderland, she's huge, humongous.
Completely agree. Or Deborah DeLuca, or
Yeah.
Charlotte DeWitt.
Yeah.
You know, you have these big female names, and when their name is on a flyer, they bring a ton of people out.
Like main stage, that's crazy.
Yep.
Like insane. I personally like Miha, and I don't know if you've seen Miha and like Gigi Magritte go back. Like I love their like dynamic. I'm a fangirl of a lot. Have you heard of Sam Blackie?
I have.
She's really cool. I've been following her since like a while, like so around the time I started DJing. I'm like, this girl's dope. Like confidence level is out of this world. There's Blondish.
Blondish
Is dope.
Love Blondish. One thing I love about her is her initiatives, right? So she's always trying to like clean the plastic of the world. She's trying to keep litter to like a minimum, and she has like a whole.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, she does. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, she has like a foundation, I'm pretty sure, dedicated to keeping the world plastic free.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
A woman with a girl DJ already badass, and then you add the environmentalism, triple badass. That's just like, wow.
There's layers.
Now I love her even more.
Yep.
and we can go on and on about like the girl DJs that are out there. Honey Dijon now. I think a big step in like the LGBTQ community, you know.
Definitely.
Like I just think it's really important.
Very, very.
And to me, there's nothing like a feminine touch on the decks. Like it's just different. Like we bring just a different energy entirely.
That is true. There's
Don't get it twisted now. Girls can go hard. So.
No, but there's a lot to be said about that balance, right? You got to have that masculine and feminine energy because they're both different. And even the way you perceive music could be different. You know, you could have another type of sound that may even have a more feminine touch, but it's slapping, you know, on the decks.
Oh yeah.
That a guy can't bring.
Yeah.
Or
maybe even reading. I feel like to an extent, like, just I don't want to generalize. I feel like it's always controversial, but I feel like women in general, like we're just more nurturing by nature and just more. Like people say, we feel more, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel more shit.
Yeah.
And I'm a woman, and like I just feel like we can probably read a room a little bit better. It's not about like let me play a song I want to hear. It's like let's make everybody have fun. So, yeah.
I like it. When it comes to getting booked, did you find that to be like really hard to do starting out, or was it getting easier and easier to be more ingrained in the scene?
Well, I could say at first it was discouraging. I feel like where people like to self-victimize and just be like, they take failure as like endgame.
Right.
But like I told you, it was like, I'm a DJ, haha, that's cute.
Gotcha.
But those kind of comments and those kind of things motivated me. It's like, okay, you're not gonna watch me now, but you're gonna watch me. Like I'm gonna show you. So, when I started out in Tallahassee, I feel like when opportunities aren't being given to them, instead of letting that like paralyze you and not let you move forward, you need to make your own opportunities. And like what I did in Tallahassee, I told you I was in a sorority. I didn't have like that background. I wasn't really in the music. I wasn't even in FSU. I was at TCC. I was in the community college. So it wasn't even like, I had not really many friends to go to the clubs with and stuff like that. So whatever, I just started with just meeting people. I got my first gig by working at this smoke shop, and then there was this DJ that would always come in and get his like blunts or whatever, and I was just like, yo, I'm a DJ, like what's good, like whatever. And then before you knew it, like you keep throwing that out as much as you can, and then someone might take you serious, and then whatever. That's when I got my first little gig at this gay bar.
Okay.
And I played there for like a year and a half until I was playing there for a year and a half. And as I played there, I threw my own parties. So through me throwing my own parties and like gaining a network of people, like I met rappers, I met singers, I met rappers, I met different people just in the community, vendors, people who sell clothes or necklaces, and we all kind of brought our networks of people together to throw like these massive parties.
Ooh.
And they got my following, I got their following. We all kind of blended our networks together. And that kind of got my name out there. And before you knew it, a bartender from one of the biggest clubs in Tallahassee came to my party and was like, "You're dope. Work there." And then the rest is history, you know? So I think that's what it is. Just make your own opportunities if no one's really giving them to you. And don't be afraid to be, because if you're hungry, people are going to want to feed you, you know? Someone was in your position at one point.
Gotcha.
So.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think this is always a difficult, I think, topic for some DJs because they don't know how to break the scene, right? I've seen DJs just kind of, like you said, that discouragement can really affect them because no promoters is giving them the time of day. So what do you got to do?
Yeah.
You know? And like you said, you got to make your own opportunities, figure it out.
Yeah.
I think throwing parties is such a great idea.
And just your network is your net worth. Like that is so valuable. Like who, you know, like I said, I met these rappers who have a following, these whatever, who had a fall, like another, like bring all your people together and then your people meet their people and whatever. I feel like another thing that people miss is like some people are so caught up, and you meet a lot of, I'm sure in any kind of industry, you meet people who are just kind of in it for themselves. I think being a good person will take you such a long way too. Like, I don't know if you ever heard like what you give is what you receive.
Definitely.
I think like not being greedy with like your contacts, not being greedy with putting people on, like really just wanting to help the community grow, like helping the people around you, it comes back to you tenfold. You know, just being a solid person. So that's another layer to it.
Yeah, that's another layer in itself.
Your network's your net worth. Make your opportunities and be a good fucking person.
Boom, make it happen.
Period. Oh, and be patient.
Oh, that's a big one.
Be patient. Oh my gosh.
Have you ever felt like mad anxious because things aren't happening as quick as
Oh
you'd
my
like?
God, I can't tell you. You know that 6 months of me locking myself in my room?
Yeah.
And just me, that was when I was working at the smoke shop and be like, I'm a DJ. I thought that I was necessarily expecting everything to happen all at once, but I can tell you, I called my sister. I remember there was one night that I called my sister bawling, crying, like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. And she goes, you know, like just bawling, crying. And she was just like, I feel so much pressure, this and that. She's like, listen, if you don't want to do this, make room for people who do.
She was mad straight up with you.
She is like, she gives me the tough love that I need. Like, not only in DJing, she's coached me on life.
Yeah.
So like, she's like, make room for people who do. If you don't want to do this, then don't make yourself unhappy. If this is stressing you out, don't make yourself unhappy, but make room for someone who does. And I was like, no, I want this. Like, I didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yeah.
God didn't make, I told you the story of how it landed on my lap. Like, I wasn't looking for it. Why did it land on my lap if I wasn't meant to do this? And like, me not letting my like crying and all that get to me and just make me give up, me persevering and kept going. Like, I've done things that with DJing that I never thought I could.
Well, yeah, true that. You know, I remember how I first found out that you do DJ was my close friend Nelson.
Yeah.
Vice Promotions.
Yes. I worked with them for a while when they were starting up.
Exactly, yeah. And I think he made a post and you were in a DJing. And I'm like, hold up, who is this? And then we had all these mutual followers. And I'm like, okay, you must be a DJ that's up in the scene there. I see you. So that's pretty cool, you know?
Vice Promotions. I remember I went to like their warehouse party and whatever. I just was like, okay, so a side interest of mine aside from DJing, and this actually came before the DJing, I just love to like bring people together through the means of music. That's my mission statement altogether, whatever, regardless of what that means. Like, and that's what I'm kind of doing now that I'm in Miami, is like working more behind the scenes, as well as still DJing, never giving that up. But with them, they kind of gave me like, aside from me throwing my own events, but it was like little house parties. Like it was with them, it was like on a legitimate level. Like I understood what it was to book artists, like the thought process that goes behind that, like the budgeting, seeing what that looks like everything behind the scenes in terms of what goes into an event. I saw that competitive analysis. Like I just learned so much through them. So I'm very grateful for them. Very grateful for Nelson and Carlos as well. They're both like the duo there.
Yep.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun throwing shows and hanging out with DJs. It was a blast.
That's pretty badass.
Like, I got Green Velvet, his like Dom Perignon and Cool Ranch Doritos. And then after I was like, dude, I heard you love them. And we were just kicking it with him the rest of the night, and we met a lot of cool people.
That's really
to say the
cool.
least.
Really cool. How important do you think networking is? I know you mentioned your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
But how do you take the steps to actually increase your network, right?
Well, it's not, I can't sit here and like make it seem like it's easy for everybody. But I can say this, like, I've always been generally outgoing, but it's weird. It's like I'm hot and cold sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to talk. Sometimes I am. Like, I get it. I've been in both sides of the spectrum where I'm just like, ah. And then other times where I'm like, I don't know what to say right now, you know? But just generally, I mean, go with the people that, like, you're resonating with their energy, like, whoever you're just feeling kind of attracted towards, and just, you know, just ask them about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. Start off the conversation with, like, a compliment. Like, dude, I really like your shirt. Oh, I actually really do like your necklace. It's really, like, start off with it, like, your necklace is dope. Where'd you get it? Da-da-da-da, you know? And then just keep asking questions. It's made sound like an interview at first, and if it sounds too much like an interview, move on to the next person, you know? Like, just start asking questions. Compliment. I feel like that's the best way to, like, start it off. A compliment, and then keep going.
That's definitely a good way to just break the ice immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my only tip.
For anyone looking to network in the DJ world, start building those compliments.
Compliments and or like oh, after someone does their set, like, yo, like, your set was dope. Like, that's really cool. That's a good, that's a compliment.
It's a compliment. It hypes up. Yeah, hypes people up.
Yeah, it's just positive energy. Like, you come with a good vibe, and people are gonna be like, oh, it's dope. Like, this person's cool.
So you recently moved back down here. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in South Florida.
Yeah, permanently. I moved back in like August.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And are you seeing like quite a contrast between the music?
Yeah.
From North Florida to South Florida?
Oh, absolutely. And in Tallahassee, it's very, I want to say, like, FAMU and FSU is very segregated.
Mm-hmm.
You go into a FAMU scene, it's more like your hip hop, your R&B, Afro beats. Like, you can find more of that kind of scene on that side. Okay. And then on the FSU side, it's very EDM, house music, pop, the corny throwbacks, like or like a rap song with into a crazy remix. Like,
gotcha.
Lots of that. But definitely a big contrast in music from Miami, because Miami is just very Latino influence, but there's even within that their own little pockets. You get really everything out here. Yeah. I can say honestly, the only scene I don't really see strong, prominent scene for, but I have seen parties go down, is like the dubstep scene. I feel like that could probably be a little bit stronger. Yeah, it's growing-ish. It's very underground though, and I think it always kind of has. Because to Latinos, they're like, I just want to shake my hips. It just doesn't make sense to them, you know? What is this headbanging? I don't know. Headbanging, Nika headbanging. Like, they're not. Say what? You know, definitely. It's hard to be like a music appreciator, because it's like I've been able to submerge myself in different cultures of music, and I'm like, I can get it in every type of world, but it's hard to translate that to other people. Like, I wish I can like give them my eyes and my ears, and like, so you can get it, but not everyone's gonna get it, and it's okay. Yeah, I've learned to just live with it. Gotta appreciate that they appreciate whatever they got, you know? Yeah, and let it be. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. How important do you feel like being well-rounded with all these different music genres has played a role in your DJing? I just don't really put pressure on it. It's just naturally who I was. I feel like I was putting more pressure when I tried to decide on what kind of DJ I wanted to be. I had, for the longest, it was like this internal battle, like, why am I not, like, why can't I just pick one? Because, like, it's the truth. Like, when you're a niche DJ, you kind of accelerate faster. Like, that's just how, like, the Instagram culture works. Or like marketing 101. Like, you find a target audience, you serve that purpose, stick to it, and you're gonna accelerate. But for me, it's like, I resonate with all of us to come together. So it's a little bit harder. But yeah, no, it's just natural to me, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love learning about. I told you I want to bring people together through the means of music, whatever that means, and like, as much as I love music, I love people. Like I love studying people in the musical lens, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to me how like, okay, in the hip hop world, everybody dresses different from the people in the house world, and like the way they party, their poisons of choice, like everything is just different. Like
very different. Very
the energy,
different.
like.
Energy being like one of the main ones I've noticed myself.
And it's even more fun when you can get down in every scene.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Some things I feel like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Because some are more welcoming than others, but
yeah, that's the truth.
I'm like here to appreciate, man.
Yeah. Do you see yourself going into more gigs now that you're in South Florida? Like, what are you looking to branch into?
So I had a residency when I was up in Tallahassee for like 2 years.
Wow.
It was in Potbelly's. There was like a really big club out there. So it was like, and I would play, I played at like 3 different clubs out there. But when I came back, and I knew this coming back, I'm like, girl, you're going to have to humble yourself. Like, it's not the same. It's a big contrast from being like the only girl in Tallahassee. Because like girls who pick up the DJing there, they wanted to do house music or like techno or dubstep. Like they wanted to do EDM. And like for the club, that doesn't necessarily work every night. Like, you know, it's just not what it is. So I was the only girl who really did open format. And it would be crazy. My schedule would be like, I'm opening for Rod Wave, then Dombresky the next day. Like, you know, it's like a
complete difference between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. So going from that, doing stuff like that, to coming back and just kind of humbling myself. Okay, there's a lot of girls who do open format down here. I feel like I love it because honestly, like I told you, like how people would be like, that's cute when you DJ, like, and I was like, bring it, I'm gonna show you. It's kind of like, okay, now I love this because instead of me just being comfortable up there, and I felt myself getting that towards the last of my months, now it's like I feel challenged. I kind of feel like a flame under my ass. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel inspired by all these girls that are doing this, or like even the guys. Like when I go out, I'm just listening and really soaking it all in. But in terms of gigs, at first it was very slow. I can't lie to you. And then things slowly but surely picked up. I'm actually right now with like a booking agency. They're called Don't Look Down Productions. Very cool. And they get me more. It's more like corporate gigs through them. But you can find me at Baby Jane every other week.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Baby Jane's a great spot.
Yeah, it's a really cool bar. Good ramen, good music by yours truly.
Hey.
A little bit of everything. And yeah, I'm going back to Tallahassee actually next month. And then I'm going to be doing Bimini in March through the booking agency. Wow. Because I don't know if any of the listeners have heard of like Shut the Fuck Up and Party.
I have not.
Well, that's a big party, spring break party that goes on in Bimini. So I'm going to be there for like 2 weeks.
Very cool.
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
That sounds like a wild time, actually. Yeah.
And I'm going to be there for like the week that FSU comes. So I'm going to be like, come home to me.
All the Knowles coming at you one at once.
I'll be like, I miss you guys.
It's pretty sick. Could you ever see yourself, where in South Florida are you at currently? In Miami?
I'm both like in the 954-305 areas.
Gotcha.
But I stay in Pembroke Pines, but I'm often in like Edgewater area.
Yeah, the Miami.
I've like 2 cribs, flip back and forth.
Nice.
When I need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I work like my office during the week, day to day. I work a lot in Hollywood around this area.
Right. Yeah. And
then when it's like I work in Miami, if I'm doing a Baby Jane and it's like I'm not trying to drive all the way back to Broward.
Word. Can you see yourself at a different place than Baby Jane, like spreading into maybe like a? Of
course, but like I mean, for now, I mean, no shade. I love Baby Jane. I love y'all. If y'all watching, I love you.
Shout out Baby Jane.
I love Baby Jane. For now, I definitely see myself branching into. I'm down to experience anything. I'm still growing out here. I know that I'm an open format DJ that is already been. I'm done with the whole going against the grain, going against myself. So yeah, anywhere that is welcoming and open format DJ, I am your gal.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Anywhere in like Wynwood, I probably would see myself. I play sometimes in Tiki Garden. It used to be like the Old Wood Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing a little bit there, but like anywhere around Wynwood, I really like that area. I really like how like you can kind of get experimental there and it's no heat.
Definitely. And Wynwood is more chill, I would say.
Yeah, you can really just everywhere I've heard just like mashups that I've never heard before that go hard, or like sounds that I've never, like just cultural sounds. You hear a little bit of everything. It's really cool. And I resonate with that.
When you DJ, what type of equipment do you use?
I have used an SX3, like a DDJ SX3. I use a DDJ 1000, and then SRT. I'm a Serato baby, sorry, record box. But I use record box too. If, like sometimes, like for house gigs, I'll use the USB because I just know it's like not with the culture to bring your laptop.
Right.
So I bring the USB. I'd be using record box, but Serato's just what I'm comfortable with.
Gotcha.
And then I can do the CDJs with my laptop as well.
Nice.
So
you got a lot of versatility there.
yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the one bitch at the house event bringing her laptop and be like, bro, get out of here.
You have a stand? I mean,
yeah, like yeah, no.
That's hilarious.
That would be really awkward.
And how have you found it hard because you've moved to a different location, building like another fan base here, or like bringing out more people?
Like building out a fan base?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's that took years in Tallahassee, so it's gonna be the same thing here. I'm just trying, like the more gigs, the more I put myself out there, the more your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
The more you do that and are patient, it'll come. So I'm not really stressing about it. It's like if you fuck with me, you're gonna fuck with me, and like I'm gonna love you if you fuck with me.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
What have you been doing for content? Like, I know that's another facet of like being a DJ, just being able to put yourself out there all the time.
Yeah. Just really just capturing the gigs that I'm at. That's mostly what I'm like, because I was bad at that at a point. Like, it's like I've done all these things and I have no pictures, no evidence of me being there. And that's really important. So I'm trying to get better at that, which I have been. That's New Year's resolution going well. So that, and then obviously mixes. I definitely want to come out with like an open format mix. I feel like that would be, I've just done like just different genres.
Yeah.
But I've done like house and Latin music.
Okay.
But I want to just do one that's like just open format, so you can hear everything in one sitting.
That's like actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like it's hard to approach it. I was like, should I do one like every genre just single? Because it would like probably perform better. I feel like for the listener. Because what if like I do an open format mix and like you're just not the sections. You're only gonna focus certain sections. Like that was like the
right.
But I'm just gonna do what I do.
That's the best way to attract your tribe, right?
Yeah.
Just do what you do.
Just do what you do.
And it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Well, sick. And where do you see yourself, going next? Like, I know you mentioned Baby Jane. You want to go to a club. Do you got any other aspirations besides DJing?
Yeah. So, I mean, outside with DJing, well, I guess we'll start with that. Like, I just want to really get a solid residency.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. People are calling me right now. Like a solid residency, couple residencies, that'd be awesome. And like traveling more.
Gotcha.
Like I want to probably get out in Tallahassee more. I am going to get out in Tallahassee. No, probably. And doing that and yeah, just kind of just getting more gigs and traveling. And that's kind of my goal with that. And then outside of that, I want to do events. Like, so my passion is like kind of events. So right now with the booking agency, not only are they just my booking agency, I work with them. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like, it's like I'm a one-stop shop. Like if you need your speakers, if you need a stage, if you need like anything, if you want to throw any kind of event, a bar mitzvah or a festival, hit me up, like I'm your girl. So I have everything through them. I can get you hooked up. So I'm just learning everything. Like I want to be a sponge. Like one day I want to throw my own music festival or like constantly be throwing concerts. So right now I'm just kind of being a sponge and learning everything I can through them. And like,
how'd you get plugged up with them?
So my sister, oh my God, so the Girls Make Beats, full circle, right? I was in class with his the guy who runs the company, DJ Vertigo. Shout out to DJ Vertigo.
Shout out.
He used to DJ for the Marlins.
Oh,
Marlins
word.
Stadium. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I was in class with his daughter. I was learning with his daughter. His daughter was like, she's in high school now, but like at the time, I think she was like 9 or something.
Wow.
She's a little girl. And I was like, there setting her up her class. Like, yeah, girl, you got it. You know, like, it's crazy. And like, it's funny. The girls were like DJ Kit Kat, DJ M&M's, or like, but yeah, I was in class with his daughter. So he met me there. And then when I left to college and my sister stayed back, he kind of hooked my sister up. He's like, hey, like this booking, we're going to start booking DJs. He had all these gigs that he couldn't do all of them, started giving them to DJs, and then it became a booking agency. So he started off with my sister while I was off in college. So he started giving her first like little gigs here and there. And then now my sister, she's gotten to a point where she's like, she's doing really well with herself. We'll just leave it at that.
Nice.
And now she's like, all right, well, I'm not going to be able to do all these things. Let me hand them off to my sister kind of thing. And like now I just work with them.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I kind of got the layup. She gave me the alley-oop.
Yeah, you got the alley-oop and you took it. You're like, I'm running with this.
Yeah, it's a good start for sure.
Yeah, badass. Very badass.
Mm-hmm.
One second, let me get a little sip of water here.
Of course, yeah, the little raspy.
So when it comes to building these connections, like you said, you met you were in the school with the daughter, you know, the person who runs, is it a promotional company or is it an events company? How would you describe it?
Production agency, like a production company, and like a booking agency.
Gotcha.
They literally like anything you need. If you need an LED robot or like a fire dancer, we got you.
Damn.
Like
that's pretty badass.
Yeah, like anything you need.
Wow. Good to know.
Shop.
Yeah, that's actually really good to know.
Yeah.
I saw on your Instagram bio actually that you sing.
Yeah.
Are you still singing?
I started off as a singer. I do like my friends that are producers, like they'll hit me up. Like right now, shout out to my boy Cabby. I made a song with him called For the Night and Zodal Beats. Really good. Check it out. But yeah, Cabby, we have to get back in the stew and finish a song. We kind of just like left there. We started in Tallahassee. We've been like texting each other like, let's link and finish this up. But yeah, I just kind of do vocals on like tracks that my friends do. But a New Year's resolution of mine is to learn how to produce myself, because that would just be
a game changer.
Yeah, take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But I told you, like when I sat with both of them, I was like, I'm gonna just go this way. But I'm learning this year. Now that I'm getting older and just all the stuff that I've been through, like you have to make yourself uncomfortable to grow. So
definitely.
I'm just gonna have to take the L and just go sit through it, you know. And it's gonna be a W at the end. Like I'm gonna be grateful.
For sure. And I think that's where a lot of the biggest growth in DJs comes. You know, when they start producing their own tracks and then throwing them out there. That's where you get a lot of attention. Like people start playing your tracks, and now you don't have to be at the show to play your music. You know. Yeah. Someone else will play your music.
Exactly, and then and also I feel like I think the part that like I never got around to it too is like how I'm grateful that like how easily DJing kind of landed on my lap. Mm-hmm. Like girls make beats. Like what? Conveniently. Yeah. Cool. I don't really have that like. Girls Make Beats isn't really around for me anymore. I don't really have that situation. But we're in the information age and we have YouTube, so just tighten up and sit through like a Ableton 101. I have the equipment. I just need to really just sit and do it.
Yeah. I get the hesitation. Like it could be very complicated to figure out. Mm-hmm. Once you got it, you got it. You know?
And I think too, it's like, and I've asked a lot of producers this too. I'm like, how long did it take you before you made a track you were proud of? They're like, a long time.
Yeah.
So...
Lots of producers I know, they can make the most perfect song and they'll still tell you there's something wrong with it.
Yep, we're our own artists are their worst critics.
Yeah, exactly.
Their worst critics.
It's never complete,
ever,
you know?
Ever. Like Kanye West and Donda, like holy crap. Right. It's still he put it. I mean, he didn't put it out, but
put it out.
I mean, we don't know the story, but like it still wasn't ready to him.
Yeah, exactly.
So we really don't know.
When you first started singing, how did that begin? Like, was it difficult for you to build to sing?
No. So it's great. Like since I was little, I've always when I was little, I wanted to be like a Disney Channel star. Like I love that. Like I was always just very like in school plays and talent shows. Like that was always like my thing. So that was the thing that's why I joined Girls Make Beats, because they were like actually sitting in the studio. I came along just to help the little girls write songs and like sing. Like that's what I was there for. And then it turned into like yo, you want to sit in a class?
Yeah, it turned to something way more.
It changed everything. But yeah, no. Wait, what was the question again? Shit. What was the question again? I feel like I'm tangent, like going on a tangent.
No, not at all. No, it's fine.
Something about singing. How did I get into it? Or it's been since I was younger.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, if singing came like easily, or if like you needed to build it, because I have some friends who, like, the only way they're able to sing on tracks is if they like build their vocal cords. Oddly enough, like, because they didn't start singing until
like
they're
layering
much
their
older.
vocal cords on the track.
Well, yeah, one is layering. Layering helps, but literally like developing your voice.
Yeah.
Singing.
Oh, it's like if you go to the gym, if you want to get ripped biceps or something, you gotta do bicep curls.
Right.
You know, like you gotta go to the gym or get a physique. Anything, eat healthy, like it's a muscle you're working out, essentially. So yeah, that definitely takes time. But today, it's like you don't even gotta sing.
Not at all.
You really know auto-tune and all that stuff like really helps.
You just gotta know how to produce.
Yeah, honestly, like.
But it helps. It helps. Trust me.
I'm an island boy. Like, they made that sound clean.
They did. And they were ass when they sang it. So.
But we heard them in the jacuzzi. It was not clean.
Exactly.
Or pool, whatever.
Facts. When it comes to the environment, do you feel like the DJ scene or just the music scene can get kind of toxic at times? Or has it been just a overall great experience?
Yes. I mean, I found myself a victim to being a little bit of an alcoholic for a minute there.
Right.
Yeah, imagine you work at the club, you got a drink tab.
Right.
That's almost damn near endless.
Yeah.
Like, and you have your friends that come out to see you every week that are like, got you a shot, you know? Like, and if you like to drink, it's just a recipe for disaster. So I found myself getting into that, and I had my own struggles with, like, because when you're under the influence on a frequent basis, like, when you're sober, it's like you face the consequences. Like, I dealt with really bad anxiety. At times it was like depression. At times it was just like you waste a whole day because you're hungover, and then you feel like shit because you wasted a whole day. So then you're sad about that. Like you go through your own mental struggles. So I do think it's a little bit of a toxic, but you have to have a strong mind. It's easier said than done. And I feel like your environment is a very powerful thing in terms of any habits you want to acquire or do. Different genres of music, if we were having this conversation off camera, different genres of music have their, like I was telling you, it's interesting to see like how everyone gets their fix.
Yep.
Some communities it's just alcohol, cocaine. Others it's like all drugs A to Z. You know, and like depending on which community you are, it's like you find issues for people in all of them. You know what I mean? Like, and those come with their own other layer of mental health and craziness.
So how do you feel like you've overcome that challenge? Like you said, you were almost an alcoholic. Like, how did you stop yourself from getting to that point?
I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm innocent. I've dabbled, you know, and things beyond alcohol. I've dabbled, and whatchamacallit, I just for me, like in my soul, and for me, I was just like, this isn't me. Excuse me. I was like, this isn't. That was like an affirmation. I was like, this isn't me. This isn't for me. This is not like. I just felt like it was just very dark energy that I was around. So just like, this is not for me. And like, still now I'm still working on, I just stopped vaping. I'm trying to stop vaping.
Right.
Attempt number 100.
It's tough.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to work on that. Even alcohol, like I just went from ordering like tequila, water, lime to ordering like a Chardonnay, you know, like it's like baby steps. But, yeah, it's just all about having a strong mind. But as far as anything like harder than that, like I've just really, I guess I've been kind of strong-minded. Like I kind of just stay away from that. But everyone has their own different things. You just have to know like, oh, I have an addictive personality. I should probably stay away from that.
Yeah, and
it's choices. Like it's really choices.
And it's
if you are okay with that and that works for you, I'm not judging either. I just want to make that clear. Like
yeah.
You know. Some people can handle it and some people can't. I quite frankly can't. Like it really just takes a toll on me. And
it definitely comes with I think even being an extrovert, you know, just being addictive personality, like it clings very easily.
I have addiction for sure in my family, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like I have to be kind of careful, and I have like I found my addictions and other things, but It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And it ain't what it ain't.
Well, right now, the best addiction to have is music.
Yeah.
Right? Just stick to the music. And
That's why we're all there in the first place.
Exactly. In the scene, making it grow just for the love of the music.
1,000%.
Definitely. So where can the people find you? On all, like, Instagram? Do you got a YouTube? Like
So on Instagram at Izzy B Baby _. I repeat, at Izzy B Baby _. If you want to follow me on Twitter and listen to my random thoughts, at Izzy B Baby, no underscore, at Izzy B Baby. At my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Izzy B Baby with 3 Ys. It's really complicated. It just didn't have Izzy B Baby _ available for everything. So I had to like maneuver. But yeah, Izzy B Baby with 3 Ys. I'll leave them the links and everything so you guys can get all of that.
Sounds fantastic.
But yeah, if you want to find that, yeah, just follow me on Instagram and just one-stop shop. You'll find all the links.
Love it.
Versus going through all my variations.
It's like 3 Ys _.
One day I'm going to buy them all. I'm going to just buy Izzy B Baby.
I love it. Well, dope. Is there anything, like, last remarks you would like to give the audience? Or?
I mean, I hope you guys gain something from this. I want to thank you. It was an absolute pleasure. And yeah, just keep going, and you'll keep growing.
Hell yeah.
And that's it.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Izzy, for joining us. This has been a pleasure. And we will catch you guys soon on the next one. If you like what you saw, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Peace out.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that was